Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be showing you how we made this foam tire iron prop. This can be used for film, cosplay, or even Larp events. We made this prop for a short film called Ice Cream. You can learn more about the project here on this Instagram page. To start, we pulled a real tire iron as a reference, and once the shape was traced onto paper, I took some thick gauge wire, which I believe was from a coat hanger. I carefully bent it with 2 pairs of pliers to match the curve of the tire iron. This wire will be the skeleton that is sandwiched in between the foam. An optional but important step is to use hot glue to create a capsule around the tips. This creates a barrier inside of the foam because when the prop is handled, the skeleton will wiggle ever so slightly with time, and having this glue barrier will cushion it against the foam, preventing the wire from ripping and tearing the foam over time. I then pulled out my Blick Art SKS foam. I cannot remember the thickness I used, but I would recommend making it thicker and carving it down anyway. It's always easier to take away, it is a lot harder to add on. I transferred the pattern to the foam. I made the exact shape of the pattern while making the other a wider coverage. This is going to help me when I cut it down to make it the exact shape I need. I carefully use the bandsaw, but you could also just use an X-Acto blade or craft knife very carefully. To glue the pieces together, I used DAP Weldwood contact cement on the foam. You apply it to both sides and then wait around 15 minutes or until it's very tacky. You should wear a respirator or have a fan blowing and a window open while using any kind of contact cement. While the DAP Weldwood was drying, I put small dabs of Gorilla Glue gel on one half of the piece. This will add strength to the bond while also remaining flexible. I used my can of DAP Weldwood as a rolling pin to smooth out the foam and to ensure a tight connection with the glue. To make the end part of the tire iron, I took something round like this end of a broom. I wrapped a piece of foam around the end and cut it to fit. To make it more of a circle, I cut the edge at an angle by carefully carving a 45-degree angle at the end of the foam. I then used more contact cement to connect the 2 ends. Next, I took a Dremel and started to sand the edges of the tire iron, rounding them off. Take your time with this step. You can always take more material off, but it is very hard to put more on. then glued the end cap piece while also continuing to round off the entire piece. Before painting the tire iron, I used a heat gun to hit all of the foam just enough to do what's called heat sealing, which is to make sure that all the pores of the foam are expanded. This is to make it better take the paint whenever you paint it later on. To paint this piece, I used Plastidip rubber spray. I sprayed in several very light coats to ensure the foam absorbed the paint. After the Plastidip layer, you can then leave it as is or paint it with rust or any other color you like. Here is the prop in comparison with the model I used to base it off of. Thank you very much. If you like this prop tutorial, comment down below on what you'd like to see created next. This prop was created for the short film Ice Cream. You can learn more about the project and the directors Jordan Belts and Carly Coulihan at the Instagram Ice Cream Film on Instagram. Thank you all. Excelsior!